have some strong feelings about DHgate and fake designer luxury items. Hi everyone, I'm Kima. Welcome to my channel. Let's get into those feelings. Now first up, what is DHgate? Now DHgate is a website that you can go on and buy a lot of things. One of those are luxury fake designer items. I mean, you can get Chanel, Rolex, Van Cleef, so many designer items. They are obviously clearly 100% fake luxury items, but you can buy those on DHgate for a tiny little fraction of what it truly costs. Now, who's shopping there at DHgate? Now, there is this debate in the space that it's mostly Gen Z. There's also a lot of millennials. Like, I'm on TikTok, and there was a period of time where all I was seeing on my For You page was DHgate luxury items, affiliate links to go shop your items, best designer dupe on DHgate or stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, this looks so good. Like, it looked like I have that bag, the real one. This looks so good. So I was like, that is interesting. So then I would go on these pages, and there are a lot of millennials. Like, I'm 37, and there are like older millennials on there, because they're not just Gen Z, doing a full DHgate review, tips and tricks how to buy your designer items on DHgate, yada yada yada. And I was like, this is impressive, one. And then the next part of me, the judgy part of me, like, this is not like your judgmental video, but a part of me was like judging. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why? Why are you buying this? But I got why I thought that way. It's because my value is placed differently than someone else's, and that's okay. But I still have strong feelings about it. For me, it all comes down to value, right? It's what you value. I personally, value quality. I do like quantity, but I'm okay with stepping stones to get my quantity. I have a really solid handbag collection, designer handbag collection, designer shoe collection that I have built over the last 10 to 12 years. I remember when I purchased my very first Chanel bag. My very first big girl purchase was 10 years ago. And I was sitting at my 9-to-5 job. I was sitting there and I have saved up the money. It came up to a little bit over $3,000, right? And I remember when I hit purchase, I bought that bag while I was at work on a work computer. I hope no one sees this. I hit the purchase and I was like, oh my God. Ah. And I remember saying to myself, that's a lot of money. But prior to buying that bag, there was this value for me of being connected and really interested in the Chanel brand. I had watched so many Chanel documentaries on Gabrielle Chanel herself at that point in time, learned a lot about her life, learned about the artistry around the brand, other documentary about the brand itself, its affiliates. I was invested and wanted to own a piece of that luxury. And so that's where my value was. And that's still one of my best purchases. I love that bag. I will hold on to that bag till the day I die. Please bury me with it. So I know it's like the value is placed on either you appreciate the brand or is the value on like social standing. And I feel like the DHgaters who buy those, it's not so much about I can't afford it. It's a lot about it looks like on a social standing and also to everyone else. It's a facade type of thing. That's my judgment of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Remember, these are my opinions, you have yours. Also, there's a lot of influencers that will actually post it on TikTok or even here on YouTube. The link is there to shop. There's an affiliate income and earning potential. I'm an influencer, I understand the earning potential. And a part of me thinks, are you doing this because you probably do have value for the brand itself and you probably would want the real thing. But this is selling right now. This is making you affiliate sales. So there's a lot of different ways I think about these things, but it all comes down again to value. Now with DHgate or anywhere else you can buy fake designer luxury products, there are negative impacts that I don't want to go through thoroughly, but just on the surface. There are political impacts, believe it or not. There's social impacts. There are moral impacts. Like, the biggest banner and poster child of a moral impact is human trafficking in what you're buying into. Like, I wouldn't want to put money into that. And yes, we're all consumers of goods and products around the world, and we're all gonna buy things or put our money into things that has negative impacts. Lots of brands are under the shadow of things you don't know they are into or are doing. But if you know, I'm thinking, you know, why? That's just my thought process. The next part is what social media has created. That social media ecosystem of all the social media channels, social media has really put us into a state of do what seems cool and do what seems popular and do what seems to make you the it girl or whatever it is. And you know, I have onus in the social media space too, simply because I am a lifestyle influencer, fashion being my most prominent. I've been doing this for 9 years now, and I've been consistent in the space. And my life will look a little bit like extravagant on social media, but I always like try to paint the picture of the growth, especially people that have followed me over the years. There's a growth process to it. Let me tell you, when I started, I had my Kate Spade, my Tory Burch, my Michael Kors, and I love that growth trajectory because every time I spend a little bit of money on luxury, not a little, a lot, every time I spend money on luxury items, they are intentionally carved out. I save for them. I know what I want, so I don't go just buying everything that I see all around. And when I own that piece, I feel like I have an ownership in the house. And when I say the house, I'm talking about the brand, like House Dior, House Louis Vuitton, House Chanel, you know, and that put me in a place of like, I'm a part of that history. Plus, have you felt great, gorgeous, fabulous leather? Let's talk about how the products on DHgate, I haven't bought one, I don't know, it's just from looking, researching, reading, watching, that the quality is terrible, especially the leather. The hardware tarnishes and everything look crazy. Sometimes the inserts of the bag is a completely different print and color than the original. Also, there's a lot of scammy behavior happening on DHgate, so you might be thinking I'm only spending $50 or $200, but that's your hard-earned money going to waste. How about saving your hard-earned money and going into the store? I would recommend, if you're buying your designer bag, shoes, whatever, for the first time, jewelry, go in store and have the experience. And give yourself that. It's like a self-care type of vibe. You work so hard, you put the money and you spend on you and you do it for you and you go through the process. You will value those items so much more than the products you just buy at DHgate that's just gonna, you know, look fake when you carry them. 2, they're gonna fall apart. 3, the moral, social, economical, political process that you fall into by contributing to that, you might as well have thrown away the money. I'm just saying. The next part I want to discuss is I want to talk about the same brands that people are counterfeiting, ripping off, buying and purchasing into. The brands have an onus and an ownership in all of this that's happening too. 1, these brands have really gone crazy in hiking up their prices, making it inaccessible for a lot of people. Therefore, people turn to fakes. So there's an ownership there too. 2, the way they market and throw the products out at every celebrity, wearing, and just throwing it out there that you're like, oh my gosh, Kim Kardashian has a new bag, I want that. Instead of like showing how, you know, you can invest into pieces makes for a great closet. And how having those pieces, if you're interested to passing them on. I have a daughter. I didn't know I was gonna have a daughter when I started collecting luxury items, but I do now, and I hope she'll want it. If not, I have a niece. My niece will probably want it, you know. So it's just kind of like thinking about those things. Some people think, you know, resale value. Can you resell the pieces from DHgate? You absolutely can't. You can sell it for $15, right? I personally purchase all my items to keep. I don't purchase any of them to resell. Even if I don't wear them often, I'm keeping and holding on to everything. But that's just my prerogative. And also the education aspect. Like, brands don't do a lot to educate you. They're just like, here's the it bag, here's the it shoes, here's the it jewelry, buy it. Brands have an onus, and I think they really need to think about changing that. How do we proceed from here? My advice is to start learning about the brands that you see out there. Start learning about sometimes their charitable efforts. Start learning about how they source their stuff. Start learning about their structural makeup, just the whole spectrum. And I love spending into those brands. Of course, there are some that isn't, and I spend into it, yada, yada, yada. But you get the drift of what I'm saying. Research those brands. One of the best ways to learn about luxury brands is through documentaries. I'll list a bunch of documentaries in the description for you to check out that will just take you on this beautiful journey. You see the struggles, the up and down of these brands. You see how these brands almost went out of business, or how they were acquired, or the ruthlessness to keep what we are buying a little piece into. These are some ways that will really interest you to look more towards owning true luxury rather than fake luxury, i.e. DHgate. DHgate is not the only one. Apparently there's lots of other brands out there. In my next video, I will run through a list of really vetted, trusted companies that I've bought like products from, luxury products from. I'll do a video on that, and I trust them 100%. You're getting the real deal if you're looking to buy designer brand for cheaper cost, a lower cost. A lot of the times the resale market, the vintage market is amazing. So I'll list a bunch of those in my next video and take you through how to own and start a collection, build a collection of really true, amazing quality of luxury products, bags, shoes, jewelry, all of the above. Also, you guys, there are sales. There's some brands that Dolce & Gabbana, YSL, lots of brands, if you're into that, there's always a sale. And if you make a list and know what you want, again, it goes back to the value. You can really look out for those products over 6 months or whatever, you know. But I think the thing with DHgate, it also gives you, I want it now. It's gonna happen, bam, purchase, order, it's at your door. You're out the door with your fake designer bag. I know I sound really judgmental, but I am a little bit judgy in this, I'm not gonna lie. But it's also my opinion. But there you have it. I would love to know your thoughts on DHgate. Have you bought anything there that you're like, girl, shut up, you wouldn't even know that this was fake? Let me know in the comments. Prove me wrong. Tell me if you think the leather is great, if it's good. Let me know. See you guys in the next video. Bye.